Well, one of the comic book superhero films coming out next year that I'm really excited about is the new Supergirl movie. Of course, we got Millie Alcock from House of the Dragon, who's awesome, and I loved her little bit part in Superman. I think she's going to be great in this. Jason Momoa playing the DC role he really always wanted to play, which is Lobo. He was perfect for that. Ultimate fan casting right there. I'm excited about it. And, the source material it's based on is great too. That doesn't necessarily mean it'll translate well, but excited about it. Well, it sounds like there are some early reactions coming out to the cut of the film that they have, and they're sounding really good. Some of them coming just from nameless, faceless Twitter accounts. But one of them coming from one of the more stalwart online movie scooper guys, Daniel Richmond, who is often right, sometimes wrong. But I thought it was at least interesting enough to bring this up. The folks over at Geek Tyrant wrote the following: studios rely heavily on test screenings to understand how a movie is shaping up. And although public screenings for Supergirl haven't happened yet, an early cut was reportedly shown to Warner Brothers executives at a few select viewers on the lot. As usually happens, those reactions have begun to drift online. A Twitter user said, "I've heard from multiple people in SAG that Supergirl is amazing," which led Daniel Richtman, who is more attuned to this space, to chime in with, "I have heard the same as well, that the movie is very good." Another user wrote it, "I know someone who was at the test screening. He said it was very positive reception and foresees the movie being very well received." All right. Now, again, I don't think we even do a rumor story based on some random anonymous Twitter people. But the fact that Daniel Richmond decided to chime in on this too and say, actually, I've heard the same thing. I've heard this as well. I've heard that the movie's quite solid, that it's very well received, that the movie's very good. Now, these are just the opinions of a couple of people, so I don't want us to run ahead of ourselves. But in a world of good news or bad news, I mean, if some early stuff starts leaking out, I would rather hear that the people who are seeing it so far like it than hearing that the people who are seeing it so far are going, "This ain't it. This is a disaster." Rob, I think you and I have both been kind of expecting Supergirl to be really good.
Yeah.
I mean, James Gunn talked a lot about the fact that the pitch put on his table and that he was just fell in love with the script, the filmmakers they got. He's been very excited about this film, and he's not directing it himself, but they got a really good director on board. They had a really good screenwriter on board. I think they've got a terrific cast working with it. It's good to hear this. Listen, I'm not going to lie. My expectations for Supergirl are high. Not necessarily for the box office, but for the quality of the movie to really get the DC moving. Now, look, you had a great start with Superman, but now you got to follow this up. I think this will be the film to do it. I like what I'm hearing from this, but I'm not going to put too much stock in this quite yet. But it is good to hear nonetheless. Anyway, what's your takeaway from what we're hearing, and where are your expectations for Supergirl like right now?
Well, I'm fascinated by this because it's really going to be the first new DCU under Safran and Gunn's tutelage or stewardship that isn't James Gunn. We're not seeing Lanterns, so we're getting a movie that's not directed or written by James Gunn. It's based on a DC Comics story, a specific DC Comics story.
A really good one, by the way.
Really good one, and I think that more so than anything, so Superman was more of an announcement movie. Like, here's a new DCU. This is now going to tell us, I think, more about the DC universe. Like, what is this direction? What is the scope? This is a very cosmic story. We're meeting a character like Lobo, and who else who else we're going to meet. I'm sure Superman has some role to play in this. So I think it's really going to be a beacon as to what direction we're going. So from that perspective, I'm really curious to see where it's going to go. On the other hand, I'm really curious to see this particular story realized on film. I think this is a great story. I think it has a lot of great potential. And I think that Millie, she is not necessarily the traditional person you might have expected to play this role. I think she's, like all of James Gunn's choices, a little bit quirky in a way.
Yeah.
And I think it was a great choice. And going that direction, because what we saw at the end of Superman sort of tease up her feelings in the comic, and it's going to be great to see it. I'm to be honest, John, I'm very excited about this movie.
Yeah, I'm getting more excited by the day, to be honest. Now, again, it could go terribly wrong. I'm not sitting here. By the way, but one of our users in the live chat, Jay Alexander, I think, is saying, I don't think Lobo and her will fight. You don't think they're going to have Lobo and Supergirl fight in this? Listen. I have not talked to James Gunn about this. I have not seen a script. I don't know anything, okay? I know nothing about this. I am willing to wager big money that you will absolutely see Lobo and Supergirl at least have one tussle. Like I have no doubt about that whatsoever.
You can't make a movie and not have them tussle if they're both in it.
Yeah, even if they end up on the same side,
sure,
a la Batman v Superman, they're going to fight.
Plus, it's going to be hilarious.
Oh, I agree.
It's going to be wildly entertaining, and I'm looking forward to it.
And I hope Crypto gets involved in the fight, too. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Hey guys, we are right now in the middle of the holiday season, and this is always the time of year when traditions take center stage. For me, one of the small traditions I've had for myself since I was a teenager is taking at least one night during the Christmas season to just spend completely by myself, to just reflect on the year that was and how I want to improve myself in the year that's coming. The holidays can be joyful, but they can also be stressful, overwhelming, even lonely. So if you're thinking about starting therapy or getting back into it, BetterHelp is a great way to begin. BetterHelp has fully licensed therapists who work under a strict code of conduct, and they do the matching work for you. The way it works is you fill out a short questionnaire. They use over 12 years of experience to match you with someone who fits your goals. And if it's not the right fit, you can switch anytime from their tailored recommendations. With over 30,000 therapists and more than 5 million people served, the platform's average live session rating is 4.9 out of 5 from more than 1.7 million reviews. So this December, start a brand new tradition by taking care of you. Our listeners get 10% off at betterhelp.com/Campea. That's betterhelp.com/Campea. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? There are some whispers starting to come out, but remember, keep these things in check and take them all with a grain of salt. But there are some whispers starting to come out that this Supergirl movie looks like it's shaping up really well. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be great. Then again, I've had other movies I thought were going to be great that not turned out so great. I'm looking at you, Craven. Anyway, whatever you guys think about all this, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.